Well, thank you for joining us for Daybreak Plus here on KVUE Plus, streaming free on your TV. I'm Yvonne Nava.
And I'm Hannah Rucker. Happy Monday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. We are getting started here with a lot of news and a whole new weather pattern this week.
Right?
Did you just say the coolest July?
Coolest July on record so far. We have had not a single day of above average temperatures. And of course, that means we also haven't had any triple digit temperatures either. We continue with that streak. Last time we saw triple digit heat was all the way back in May. Of course, we went without it for June as well. And we might be ending out the month of July without triple digit heat as well. Of course, that's always good news. What's also good news is the drier weather pattern for all those continued recovery efforts that we have across the area. We get to settle in with high pressure for this week. In the upper levels of the atmosphere, though, we have this little area of low pressure. You can see the swirl right smack dab in the middle of the state of Texas. That's an upper level area low pressure, about 18,000 feet high. It's not bringing us any rain other than a couple little sprinkles that have been primarily off in our far northern hill country zones, and it really won't bring us much rain today. It will bring us the cloud cover that you currently see behind me, though. It's the clouds that kept us with highs yesterday that only reached into the 80s and low 90s. Out the door this morning, we're currently warm, a little bit sticky with the humidity still there. Temperatures sitting in those middle and upper 70s. As we take a look at the rest of today, we'll likely start out with more clouds compared to sunshine. Look for a mix of clouds and sun through this afternoon with those temperatures that'll be climbing back to around 96 degrees for our high. A little bit breezy at times. Those winds will still be picking up at times out of the south. We saw some gusts of around 25 miles per hour yesterday. Today, very similar. Could still see some occasional wind gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour with our sunset today at 8:31 p.m. So we've got this dry stretch of weather on the way that's going to take us through the remainder of the week. We've got a slow warming trend as we start to incorporate a little bit more sunshine back into the mix. We will see things slowly heat up, and I do think we'll start to add in some above average days. I know we have not had that so far, though, for the month. And then eventually we'll be tracking some slim weekend rain chances. I'll have much more on that coming up. But of course, we've got to check in on that Monday morning commute with Hannah first.
Woo woo, let's do it. We've got a whole new work week ahead of us. Thank you so very much, KC. It is 7:03. If you're joining us here on Daybreak Plus, we sure are happy to have you. And a couple notes as we are heading out the door, taking a live look out of Mopac. Some big changes heading out towards the North Shoal Creek area. Looking good here at Camp Mabry, though. But if you are just waking up, that Far West Boulevard southbound exit is going to be closed for the rest of the year as they continue that work out there. The bridge work continues at RM 1431 for Lago Vista and Marble Falls travel. They are hoping to wrap that up by September. They are expediting that project, and we do still have 40 flood-related closures across the region following the flooding really across our area that is still impacting a lot of people. So here's a look at the map. Far West Boulevard will be closed. You can rely on STEC or RM 2222. And, you know, it's just as the morning goes on is when you really start to see some of those slowdowns out there. Right now, though, Buda, we are still looking good at 30 miles per hour. Slowdowns in Manor, Round Rock, y'all are slowing down a bit on I-35 at 47 miles per hour. Cedar Park, we are looking really good. Y'all had kind of a tough week last week through Jollyville with, that 183 mobility project that's also impacting you guys as well. So should be a great Monday here in Austin.
All right, thanks so much. We'll talk more about that mobility project. Taking a live look at the state capitol. Today marks the start of the special legislative session as you look live here. You know, unlike a regular session, the special session focuses only on topics chosen by the governor. KVUE's Michael Courier joins us live from the state capitol with a breakdown. They've got a lot of work to do in a relatively short amount of time, right, Michael?
That's correct. Good morning, Yvonne. There certainly is a long list. Now, in total, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is asking lawmakers to take up 18 total items during this 30-day special session, and that's expected to start in just a few hours from now here at the Texas State Capitol. Now, we know towards the end of June, that is when Texas Governor Greg Abbott called for the special session and added flood response items following the 4th of July floods that killed more than 100 people. Lawmakers will consider bills to improve flood warning systems and emergency communications, as well as relief funding for affected communities. However, the session will also focus on priorities from the regular legislative session that were left unfinished. Some of those items include education, property taxes, the regulation of hemp and THC products, abortion and women's health, and human trafficking, among others. Now, the big question is whether 30 days will be enough time for lawmakers. As we just stated, Yvonne, that this is a long list, 18 items for lawmakers to go through. Now, if they don't have enough time, Texas Governor Greg Abbott can call for another special session to really buy time to get the job done. reporting from the Capitol, Michael Courier, KVUE News.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. You know, redistricting, that is another one of the big ticket items on the agenda for the special session. President Trump reportedly told Texas Republicans he wants them to find 5 new GOP seats in Texas. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Democrats will push back against redistricting action. Republicans currently hold a House majority by 8 seats. For Texas, Republicans hold 25 of the state's 38 congressional seats. Democrats hold 12. Over the weekend, people protested outside the governor's mansion, and they demand lawmakers prioritize flooding recovery instead of redistricting.
The urgency is going to feel like, well, it's gone now. Well, we've kind of forgotten about it, but it's not going anywhere, and it's going to continue until our governor and our legislators are allowed to do something real and concrete.
18 items. This special session is a heavy lift, so we will see how much lawmakers can actually get done in their 30-day timeline. Of course, we're going to keep you updated on the flooding recovery efforts. And leaders in Kerr County say there are only 3 people still missing. That number at one point, if you recall, it was more than 160. The flash floods killed at least 135 people in Texas over the 4th of July holiday weekend. Most deaths along the Guadalupe River in Kerr County. 10 people are dead in Travis County, with 4 people still missing. And happening today, reconstruction begins on the RM 1431 bridge over Cow Creek. TxDOT is trying to fast track the construction and really fix that bridge that will be the connector for Lago Vista and Marble Falls. More than 3,500 vehicles crossed it each and every day until raging floodwater washed it away earlier this month. TxDOT leaders told us contractors will do everything possible to accelerate construction, but of course, it's going to take some time.
That can take up to 6 months. So if we were not able to find beams that we would need that would fit this project from another project in the state, there's no way we'd have been able to meet the schedule that we put out there.
Schools in that area start on August 13th, so TxDOT says they really are working with Marble Falls ISD to figure out a plan for students who may live on the opposite side of the bridge. The original bridge was built in 1960, and TxDOT leaders say the new bridge will be built to current design standards, making it higher and wider. It'll include 12-foot travel lanes, a 2-foot median, and 6-foot shoulders on both sides. In other news, at 7:09, thieves are targeting homes along the Guadalupe River in Kerrville, specifically ones marked for demolition. Looters are swooping in once appliances like refrigerators and washers are placed by the road for pickup. Phil Sterling has more on efforts to prevent looting.
It's literally just guarding people's possessions.
Volunteers Regina Guevara and Link Myers have set up camp here in Kerrville along the Guadalupe River. Owners of houses slated for demolition along the river have to put appliances on the side of the road before they're demolished. Guevara says it's a tempting site for looters.
In San Antonio, if you put it off your curb, it's free. If it's like back towards your house, you don't touch it. Right. And that didn't apply this week, I guess, or last.
Looters are also looking for scrap metal. Volunteers say sometimes it's not so obvious who is and who is not taking things, as anyone in the area could be hired to scrap things, but also could be looking to cash in themselves.
But people that come in with their existing, small business of scrap metal, they got a big trailer on them, and they're either just looking willy-nilly to grab whatever it is, or to give Regina or somebody else a problem.
And Pamela Allen with Eagles Flight SA is here, helping clear out houses to be demolished. She says what makes it worse is that some items have to be out for days just because stuff like mud has to be cleared out of homes. She says protecting this stuff must be a difficult job.
What is it, at least 100 miles of river that has been affected? How do you protect those homeowners along that line? And that's a really hard thing with all that they've got going on.
Well, San Marcos police are trying to find a second suspect connected to the shooting, and it happened around 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday at San Antonio and Guadalupe Street. Police say 24-year-old Anthony Barrera was allegedly on a date with a married woman. Police say her husband confronted Barrera and then a fight broke out. Then there was gunfire. Barrera and 20-year-old Alec Pacheco were killed. Police arrested the accused shooter, 19-year-old Jeremy Tobias. They're looking for another man, the one here on the left, 19-year-old Avery Bowman Jr., for allegedly trying to rob one of the victims. Police say one of the victims, Pacheco, was a bystander. We spoke to his mom.
I wish he would have just walked away. Just seeing him gone is really taking it hard on me. My heart hurts.
Oh, my heart hurts for her. You know, to help with funeral expenses, Pacheco's family has created a GoFundMe and is holding a mini taco breakfast, or a benefit rather, on Saturday, July 26 at 11 a.m. It'll take place at the I Don't Know bar on East Hopkins Street in San Marcos.
And your time now is 7:12. Heads up, Mopac drivers, there is a change for Mopac South in the North Shoal Creek area. The Far West Boulevard exit on the southbound side of Mopac now closed and will be for the next several months. KVUE's Allison Martinez has been wonderful. She's given us a live look today, which is so very helpful. And to talk about what this closure looks like and some options we have as well, heading out the door. Good morning, Allison.
Good morning. At this point of the morning, we're seeing traffic slow down a bit more as drivers navigate this closure. The closure officially started yesterday and is expected to last throughout the end of the year. Behind me, we've got some construction crews starting to get to work as well. Now, this is the final part of the Mopac portion of the 183 North Mobility Project. This includes the construction of 2 express lanes in each direction along the 9-mile stretch of US 183 between State Highway 45 North and Mopac. Mike Sexton is the director of engineering for this project, and he says, as always, the slowdowns will be the worst this first week of construction, so give yourself extra time as you head out the door.
It's one thing, it's nice, it's during summer. There's more people on vacation, less school, so there's less traffic out there right now than there will be in the fall. But we just tell people, give yourself an extra 15-20 minutes the first couple of days, just in case.
Here are your detours. Drivers can exit to Steck Avenue and take the southbound Mopac frontage road to Far West Boulevard, or you can exit to RM 2222. You will then turn left at the intersection, then turn right after crossing under Mopac to enter the northbound Mopac main lanes. There will be signs to help guide you through all of those detours. And as always, CTRMA is asking people to drive carefully, give yourself a few extra minutes as you head out the door. If you don't have apps like Waze or Maps, now may be a good time to download them so you can get a better breakdown of detours. Reporting live in Austin, Allison Martinez, KVUE News.
Very good, Allison. I know you're new to Austin. You'll learn a lot of people nickname Mopac Evil Mopac because it just gets so crazy out there, but it doesn't look like it has gone evil yet this morning, has it? Thank you. And this is another big story from last night. Alaska Airlines flights, they are back in the air after a system-wide IT outage. The outage forced a temporary ground stop overnight. It was a long night for a lot of travelers. This video sent by KVUE reporter Adam Bennett from Seattle's airport shows all the people waiting for those updates. It's just the worst when you're stuck like that. And the airline says the issue, thank goodness, has been resolved. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, the ground stop was in place for about 3 hours. And another close call in the skies. This time it was once again between a passenger jet and a military aircraft. A Delta connection flight from Minneapolis was reportedly forced to make an aggressive maneuver over North Dakota to avoid a mid-air collision. ABC's Allison Cossack has a story today.
Another close call in the sky. The pilot of a SkyWest jet operating as a Delta connection flight says he was forced to make an abrupt maneuver while landing in Minot, North Dakota to avoid colliding with an Air Force B-52 bomber.
It was just really aggressive how he jolted.
Passenger Monica Green was sitting in the 5th row.
I could feel that we're getting closer to the ground and we're starting the descent. All of a sudden, we just kind of jerk really hard to the right, and it goes from like this to just like almost sideways completely. And we're like looking out the window and facing the grass.
Once safely on the ground, the pilot apologized over the intercom.
It was a military. I don't know how fast they were going, but they were a lot faster than us. I felt it was the safest thing to do. do to turn behind it. So sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. This is not normal at all. It was not fun, but I do apologize for it, and thank you for understanding. It was kind of not a fun day at work.
The plane had departed from Minneapolis, flying to Minot, which is home to an Air Force base with B-52 bombers. It's unclear how close the two aircraft came, or if a cockpit alarm was activated. The scare, reminiscent of the mid-air collision between an American Airlines jet and a Black Hawk helicopter outside Washington, D.C. back in January, which left 67 people dead and raised questions about military flights sharing airspace with passenger aircraft. As for this case, Green praised the pilot for his quick thinking.
Huge thing for that pilot to make that decision and get everyone safe. So kudos to Delta for that guy. He saved the day on that.
SkyWest and the Air Force are investigating. An Air Force spokesperson did confirm that a B-52 assigned to Minot Air Force Base conducted a flyover at the North Dakota State Fair on that same day. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Ooh, scary times there. Back here at home, some students at the University of Texas at Austin will have to show proof of their legal status. KVUE obtained a letter giving students until this Friday, July 25th, to submit those documents. It aligns with the state ending the DREAM Act after the Justice Department said it conflicted with federal law. Texas schools must now identify students without documents who will lose in-state tuition rates. An immigration attorney we spoke to warns this type of data collection could raise privacy concerns going forward.
It's really, really hard to tell someone to say, don't pursue your education because you are in fear of then getting deported. But at the same time, how do you tell someone if you do go to school so that you can pursue your career, but there is a chance of you risking deportation?
We reached out to UT Austin for a comment on the letter and to ask what the university could do with information once it's submitted. They declined to comment for now. And some House Republicans are joining Democrats in a push to release all the grand jury testimony in the Jeffrey Epstein case. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details.
This morning, the firestorm over the Trump administration's handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation is not going away. Now, a greater push for transparency as some congressional Republicans break ranks to join Democrats to push for a vote to release the files on the convicted sex offender. The resolution would carry no legal weight, but shows the outrage some lawmakers feel from their own base.
This town does not give up its secrets easy.
President Trump ordered the Justice Department to request the release of grand jury transcripts related to Epstein. But that could take time, requiring a federal judge's approval. And legal experts say the transcripts may not reveal any new details and likely only cover a fraction of the evidence gathered. Democrats are slamming the president for trying to shift the blame.
So the president blaming Democrats for this disaster, Jake, is like that CEO that got caught on camera blaming Coldplay.
Trump gave the order to his Justice Department to release the grand jury transcripts just hours after the Wall Street Journal reported on a letter Trump allegedly sent Epstein for his birthday in 2003. ABC News has not confirmed the existence of the letter. Trump is now filing a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the paper, including its conservative owner, Rupert Murdoch. In the lawsuit, Trump alleges the Journal, quote, falsely claimed that he authorized, drew, and signed a letter to Epstein containing salacious language with a hand-drawn naked woman, which was created with a heavy marker, and that no authentic letter or drawing exists. Dow Jones, the parent company of the Wall Street Journal, says they are standing by their reporting. Epstein's former lawyer says Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, should testify before Congress, saying, quote, she knows everything. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come on this Monday morning, we've got a quick weather and traffic update, and then we will be right back here with more of your local news right here on KVUE Daybreak Plus. Monday morning, Central Texas. I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. We are getting back to the grind here. Get your coffee going as we're getting you out the door. Here's a live look at Mopac out at Camp Mabry. We've got some big construction projects really ramping up this week, and a lot of them, of course, ongoing, but some new closures to be aware of. Of course, we do still also have 40 flood-related closures across the region, and then Far West Boulevard southbound is going to be closed at Mopac through North Shoal Creek really for the rest of the year. There's still going to be bridge work that continues out at RM 1431. Fingers crossed, they're hoping to get that finished up by September. And in Sandy Creek, we've got some notes for you guys as well. You can go on KVUE.com. There's going to be new transport options for you. Here's a look at that closure through North Shoal Creek. You can rely on Steck Avenue or RM 2222, and you'll be just fine there. Slowdowns in Round Rock, Manor, Buda, Westlake Hills. The Monday commute ramping up out here. At least it should be, what, a quiet weather week, if you will, right?
Into the remainder of today. Cloudy sky to start, partly cloudy as we take you through the afternoon. Those temperatures set to warm back into middle 90s for today, where we'll look for a high near about 96 degrees. Our sunrise came at us at 6:43 a.m. We'll see some gusts today throughout the day at about 25 miles per hour. So 74 forecast as we head into the remainder of the week. We keep it dry. Temperatures slowly climb. We'll be back to around 99 degrees on Thursday, and then we'll watch for a low end chance to see a couple of showers by Saturday and Sunday. That's your forecast. Have a great Monday morning.
Okay. I'll grab it. Welcome back. Yeah, to Daybreak Plus. Lewis is getting it for me. Yeah. Thank you so much. Streaming free on your TV. I'm Yvonne Nava. I'm like, why don't I hear the song?
I'm Brian Mays. Here comes Lewis. Come on over, Lewis.
It's okay. Thank you, Lewis.
Lewis is our wonderful production associate here in the studio from Georgia. He's from Georgia. You knew that.
Oh, yes, I didn't know that.
It's a very wide shot today. Are we doing this wrong? It looks different.
Maybe we're just, Leon's getting larger.
Texas is a little offset.
Ah, there you go, see?
Your head is bumping into Galveston there. Beautiful place. All right, you're watching Daybreak Plus. What a great Monday. We're off to just a great start.
We are.
All right, speaking of great things.
There's my hometown. There's Laredo right there.
There it is, Laredo right there. I'm over here in the, the northwest part of Mexico. All right, we're officially less than 1 year away now from the FIFA World Cup. The 2026 World Cup will be co-hosted now by the United States, Canada, and Mexico.
That's right. And some of the matches will be played in Houston and Arlington. As ABC's Perry Russom reports, the competition could be a score for the U.S. economy. Take a look.
For 39 days next summer, the eyes of the world will be on North America as the United States co-hosts the 2026 FIFA World Cup, along with Mexico and Canada. 11 U.S. cities welcoming soccer teams from all over the world for 78 matches. Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York City, Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Seattle. FIFA's socioeconomic impact analysis estimates the tournament could create 185,000 full-time jobs in the U.S., with a potential $10.2 billion in labor income for workers. The report projects that 3.7 million local and international fans will travel to the American host cities, estimating the influx of visitors could generate billions of dollars, benefiting sectors like hospitality, transportation, and retail. Professor of economics Victor Matheson says the games could also bring attention to host cities that have not been top tourist destinations in the past, like Kansas City.
What this means for Kansas City is it is a chance to put itself on the map. Most foreign visitors will not have heard of Kansas City, and maybe they will have now.
8 games, including the final, will take place at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Governor Phil Murphy inviting fans not headed to the stadium to still visit the state for watch parties.
And where are people going to go to watch them? A lot of them are going to come right here. This will be the official Fan Fest. 20 big screens will be kitted around Liberty State Park.
The World Cup festivities across the country could prove lucrative, but there is the potential for deficits, as World Cup host countries traditionally spend billions of dollars in preparation of the event. That's according to Statista.
The way you can lose money on a World Cup is primarily if you spend a huge amount of money in preparations and then that tourist boom can't cover those expenditures. But in the United States, we're not spending much in most of the host cities because we have good stadium and tourist infrastructure already in place.
Matheson adds where the tourists travel from is a factor.
A U.S. citizen who decides to go to Kansas City this year for their vacation because there's World Cup games there, as opposed to a vacation in Texas instead, that's actually not new money for the country as a whole. To the extent you can bring people in from out of the country who would not have come to the United States otherwise, that actually is new money into the United States, and that is a net benefit for the country.
Matheson says it could take a year or two before we know the real economic impact. Perry Russom, ABC News.
For the World Cup?
Am I excited? Yeah, it's fun. You know, it's one of those things like the Olympics where you kind of get that national pride. And the U.S. men's team, traditionally not really a contender, you know. But I think this year maybe they've got some new fresh faces on the team. Maybe they'll make a run this year. Who knows?
It is exciting.
You know,
I mean,
it is, yeah.
Again, what it does for the economy, that's,
Sure.
unmeasured. Even it's great.
That's right. Austin's a soccer city, too. Now we've got our only, major league team is a soccer team here. And the All-Star game's coming up here in Austin. So it's a great time to be into the soccer, or the football, as they call it overseas.
Football. Yeah, we were talking about it last week on Plus and how exciting the games are.
I was watching that.
I'm sure you were from vacation. I'm sure you woke up and said, I cannot wait to watch Daybreak Plus.
The alarm goes off and I flip it right on KVUE Plus, even when I'm out.
Right. You're like, I need to get rid of those jokers, at least for a week.
World Cup's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
It's
We're
going to
looking
be a
forward
lot
to
of
it.
fun. You know what else is fun? Going through an entire month of July with not one single triple-digit day. Can we make it, Casey?
I mean, I think we have a good chance of making it through July without any triple-digit heat. Not only have we not seen the 100-degree mark so far this month, we have not yet had a day of warmer than average temperatures. We've been at and slightly below average. In fact, that has led to right now, and yes, we still have some July left to go, but if we ended out the month right now, we would have the coolest July on record in Austin. Of course, it's been courtesy of what was also a very wet first half of the month. It's good to have what's going to be a very dry forecast heading into the remainder of this week and likely even into the weekend for the good majority of us. Notice as we take a look at our satellite and radar, we've got this little swirly on the map here. This is an upper level area of low pressure. It's about 18,000 feet high. Thankfully, it's not been producing really much rain at all, but it has been bringing in the cloud cover that we're currently waking up to this morning and that we had yesterday. That's what actually kept us cooler than average by a solid 6-7 degrees yesterday afternoon. And again, we're likely going to be looking at another cooler than average day today. Cloudy to start out across Lake Travis. You cannot see the Sometimes Islands at all. The lake is now now 90% full. 77 degrees out of the airport and Camp Mabry. Those winds will be picking up a little bit at times today. Look for a nice breeze picking up with a mix of clouds and sun, likely dealing with more clouds compared to sunshine today, with those temperatures again still about a degree or so below our average. I am tracking a little bit of a slow warming trend. I'll show you when we could get close to 100 degrees coming up.
The lakes are full and no triple digits. Are we sure we're still in Texas these days? I swear, what is going on? It is 7:33. It is Monday, though, and it's time to get to work. If you're sitting at home and watching us on KVUE Plus, thank you so much for joining us here. Here's a live look I-35 at Wells Branch Parkway, seeing a little bit of stop and go for my round rockers coming today. Southbound starting in Georgetown, traveling southbound from there, kind of starting at Old Settlers is where we're starting to see that slowdown at 41 miles per hour right now. Also seeing a little bit of stop and go coming in from Buda and South Austin, and really we're kind of all in it together. You can see Cedar Park, we've been looking really good today. Once again, I know last week with some of those 183 mobility closures, that was kind of a tough one, but looking good. We've got a lot of debris across the map today, and then here's that slowdown I'm talking about, just kind of little patches south of Georgetown, starting at 29 into Old Settlers, but no active crashes there, so we'll certainly take it. We had a little bit of fire department activity earlier this morning in Westlake Hills. That is cleared up. Loop 360 on Capitol of Texas Highway looking good out of the Austin Country Club. I-35 is clearing up as well if you're heading to downtown Austin. It looks like we got a stalled vehicle off South Congress, and then a little bit of that stop and go heading over Lady Bird Lake this morning.
We might need an ice pack for Brian. I'm just saying. Brian's telling me a story about his vacation.
Ooh, I was getting on we had a boat with a tube, and I was gonna, my little fat tail was gonna get off the boat and try not to fall into the lake.
Yeah.
Because, as I jumped, something happened. I misjudged the distance, and I twisted my ankle on the tube, and then I popped back into the water. It was a whole thing.
I bet everyone was cracking up.
The boat was having a good time laughing at me. Yeah. But I made it. I made it back on there.
And you weren't really limping too hard, but maybe Lewis could get you an ice pack.
Yeah. Lewis, would you mind getting me an ice? No, I'm just kidding.
Lewis is like, man,
it's good to be it's good to be back in one piece. That's for sure.
Well, one very special school counselor, rather school volunteer, I should say, in San Diego has proven to be larger than life. This volunteer with a very special group of kindergartners. He goes by Coach Cy.
That's right. Almost every day, this 90-year-old man has one mission on his mind: help these kindergartners have a great day at school. Here's ABC's Danny Neal.
Give Coach a big round of applause.
At a recent kindergarten graduation in San Diego, the most popular man in attendance may have been the 90-year-old volunteer the kids call Coach Cy.
I get up every morning and I can't wait to come to school.
Whether during the school year or summer school, most days of the week, Coach Cy comes to the classroom to help the students with learning sports, math, and reading, which often turns into story time for Coach Cy.
So watching them grow from day one to today, phenomenal.
And growth is especially important at this institution, which is a nonprofit called the Monarch School. You probably notice most of the kids in these videos are blurred, and that's because Monarch's 300 students are all experiencing housing instability. The school says it is the only K-12 school of its kind in the country.
I love to have fun. The children don't have a lot of fun in their life when they first come here. And they're scared, they're nervous. And my job really is to keep them happy, safe.
Coach Cy, a great-grandfather and member of the Buffalo State College Athletic Hall of Fame, first started volunteering here 15 years ago. He was still playing basketball at that point, in his 70s, and a friend recommended he start shooting around with these students at their after-school program.
It's a really special place that you happen to live near and got to volunteer at.
They made my life, I'll tell you, the last 15 years of my life. Good looking. Look at that. Wow.
For his 90th birthday, his class surprised Coach Cy with a sweatshirt displaying their class picture.
That's the last week of summer school.
You got it.
But maybe the best gift, a decade and a half in, Coach Cy says his former students stop him in the hallway all the time, telling him things like,
"You were the best teacher I ever had." See, now that, when they say that, that's all I have to hear.
Now, I did ask Coach Cy if he ever plans to retire from volunteering, and he said he was planning on it last year, until he met that class of kindergartners, and then he said, all right, one more year. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Good old Coach Cy. We love that.
90 years old.
I can't imagine. And you know what? The kids are probably doing more for him than he is for them. Sure. I mean, they both are, but it's so interesting how they're each helping each other out.
And you know, they all smile when they see. The kids smile when they see him, and he definitely smiles when he sees those kiddos.
Oh, we love that.
I do too. All right, this is the story that's kind of taken over everything. A viral video most people are talking about. You heard about it, Andy Byron, the former CEO of a tech company called Astronomer.
Well, he was caught on the kiss cam with Kristen Cabot during a Coldplay concert in Boston. She's the company's head of human resources. The irony is not lost on us, right? Polo Sandoval has the story.
What was caught on a Coldplay kiss cam is playing on repeat around the world.
Caught out. In a moment, these lovers won't ever forget.
La cámara de besos captó una singular parejita.
Everybody on the internet's talking about it. You've no doubt seen that moment captured on a jumbotron during Coldplay's concert near Boston earlier this week. A man and a woman embrace, but quickly and awkwardly separate once they realize they're on camera at a sold-out 60,000-seat stadium. The band's frontman, Chris Martin, offered a theory that's fueled speculation and scandal online.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. Either they're having an affair or it's very shy.
He is Andy Byron, CEO of New York-based tech company Astronomer. She is Kristen Cabot, head of human resources, according to Astronomer's website.
What would HR say? Oh, hang on, she is HR.
Neither Byron nor Cabot have publicly addressed their surprise concert cameo. The company's Friday statement reads in part, Astronomer is committed to the values and culture that have guided us since our founding. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability. The board of directors has initiated a formal investigation into this matter, and we will have additional details to share very shortly.
I've been watching it. It's on like every feed of my Instagram, of my Facebook. It's crazy.
The viral moment continues to give way to parodies and comical reenactments.
It's embarrassing. You know, it's like nobody's got a private life anymore.
And if it's merch you're after, Rolling Stone already offering a lampooning list of what to wear to totally blend in at a Coldplay concert, with products including novelty disguise glasses and a camo tee.
The thing is, like, he shouldn't done it, and that's it.
What about you? What did you think of it?
If you're gonna do something bad, do it well.
Now listen. We'd like to say hello to some of you in the crowd and put some of you on the big screen.
Disclaimer. And then during Saturday's concert, Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin gave people a heads up at their concert in Wisconsin. A heads up that the band was going to do something during that concert.
Put your picture up. Be ready. If you're with your mistress or your mistress, what do you call them? I guess a mistress.
Mistress.
Is a man a mistress too?
Yeah, I think, well.
Mistress?
Sure.
What the heck am I talking about?
A mattress? I don't know. I have no idea.
Whoa. We've seen a lot of memes, people reenacting the moment. How about the Philadelphia Phillies on Friday night? The Fanatic enjoying some quiet time before, well, getting caught on the kiss cam. The two mascots there. Watch out.
Too cute.
Ducking for cover.
Oh my God.
I will say that all of this has provided comic relief to others. I'm sure not to the individuals involved, but to everybody else. But my thing is also, haven't we heard that, I mean, he wasn't a very well-liked CEO to begin with, right?
Yeah, there's been some videos resurfacing of old employees saying karma, which...
I just feel sorry for their spouses, his wife.
The kids,
they didn't ask for any of that. He's going to be a dum-dum. That's not on them. And it's just a shame that it's funny and everybody's laughing about it. But at the end of the day, that's these kids' lives and this woman's life.
I wouldn't want to have to deal with that.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going to have to move out of the country. I
don't
mean,
know.
how do you resurface? I don't know.
Go dark for a long time.
She'll have plenty of money.
Yeah, and he needs to make better choices. You know what I mean? Like, just better choices.
Better choices.
It just speaks a lot to people. Like, you also have to have character. It's you can't. Money doesn't buy character. You just have to show your character.
And she was the HR rep for the. I mean, that's
like literally
at some point, right?
My eyeballs rolled out of my like when I was like, oh, of course she was.
Because it makes you wonder how many other CEOs have a dirty little secret like that.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go to the concert with them.
Right.
To the cold.
Why?
Right?
Yeah, don't go out in public. Just
on the kiss cam for all to see.
Right.
What a fall from grace.
Speaking of, falling temperatures have been overall really cool for the month of July. Every single day has fallen short of our average high, except for a couple of those that have been near average. I said earlier this is the coolest July on record. I will say I misclicked something on our database. It is now the 11th coolest July on record so far. Of course, we still have a little bit left of the month to go, so we'll see if we can bump up into that top 10 list. It has been a cool July, though, nevertheless. 68 days. That's how long it has been without 100-degree temperatures for Camp Mabry. The last time we had that back in May 14th. Remember, we went the entire month of June without triple-digit heat, and so far have yet to get there for the month of July. Now, I think there's a decent chance that we end out the month without any triple-digit temperatures. If that were to occur, last time that happened back in 1987. It's been cool courtesy of all the wet conditions that we had for the start of the month, and the wet conditions has led to a decent rise in our lake levels. We've actually seen an entire now 38-foot rise out across Lake Travis. Can no longer see the sometimes islands where it is now 90% full. Some clouds overhead as we take a look out across Lake Travis. We've got the swirl you can kind of make out on the map here. This is an upper level area of low pressure that brought us the clouds yesterday, and it'll continue to do so through today, where I think we're likely going to see more clouds compared to sunshine. Still some peaks of sunshine, but that should continue to keep our temperatures below average. We're off to a dry start as we kick off the day. That little swirl has produced a couple showers just off to the north and west of our farthest north hill country zones, but for the most part we will remain dry as we into today, tomorrow, and for the remainder of the work week. We are all about high pressure building in that will lead to a little bit of a warming trend as this little swirl of low pressure moves out, and it keeps us very quiet here for the remainder of the work week. So mix of clouds and sun for today. Those winds will be out of the south. Could see some gusts of up to about 20 to 25 miles per hour, but otherwise we've got a really nice calm Monday in store. Tomorrow, copy and paste forecast, some clouds to start, mostly cloudy skies. We take you throughout the remainder of today, or the day, and then temperatures again set to remain slightly below average for tomorrow. 96 degrees today. Our average high sits at 97. So again, slightly below that today. Should be adding on another blue square to that calendar I just showed you, with middle 70s as we head into tonight. A partly cloudy sky overnight. Tomorrow featuring temperatures that'll be climbing back to around 96 degrees, very similar to what we'll have today, with a mix of clouds and sunshine. Now, although I do think we'll stay below the triple digits as we head into the next several days, the humidity is still making it feel like the triple digits. In fact, temperatures will be climbing a little bit more, so we could be looking at that heat index peaking at around 105 degrees for Thursday and Friday. It is still going to be feeling hot, but right now I do not have us reaching 100 degrees. We'll get close, 99 degrees. We do have that slow warming trend towards the end of the work week, but we will stay dry through your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. More sunshine compared to what we'll have for the start of the week, and then as we head into the weekend, just a low chance of seeing a stray shower for both Saturday and Sunday. Those main chances will be focused east of I-35.
Thank you so very much, Casey. It's been an interesting July. It is 7:46. It is Monday here in the capital city. Everyone's got the hustle and bustle out the door, and we are looking pretty good. Ooh, motorcycle there on I-35 heading through Piccadilly. This is in Pflugerville, of course, and we are looking good. I was seeing a little bit of stop and go coming in from Round Rock, but that is now clearing up a little bit. So we still kind of have some patches there at 40 miles per hour. Mainer's been slowing down really for the last hour or so, kind of when you hit that Bella Parkway area in the westbound lanes. Coming in from South Austin, 29 miles per hour. No active crashes there really on either side of the highway, but we've had quite a bit of car trouble out there so far. And we're really all kind of feeling those slowdowns right now as we are heading out the door. But look at this, it's quieting down quite a bit on the map. But then we've got that slowdown here at 29. And then we feel it again in Old Settlers, and then it clears up by Pflugerville. So looking good there. And we had a little bit of activity out at Westlake Hills that has also cleared up nicely. If you're heading into the downtown area today, no active crashes there. We still have a stalled vehicle off South Congress, and then a little bit of stop and go heading over Lady Bird Lake today. Of course, there's a lot of road work that is still being done across the region. Although our major highways in the metro are looking good, I do want to emphasize, our friends in Sandy Creek and Lago Vista and Marble Falls, there's still a lot being done out there. Here's that slowdown I was referring to, which honestly, that's the best it's looked in the last hour. So like I said, right at Bella Parkway. Here's a look at your drive times heading out the door. We're right at 30 minutes coming in from South Austin. Round Rock, not too bad as far as southbound travel goes. Under 20 minutes will get you to 183. And then Mopac, of course, Far West Boulevard, if you missed it, it is going to be closed. That exit really until the rest of the year, and that is a big slew of closures that have been going on with that mobility project.
That is scary. Yeah, that's Katy Perry at her San Francisco concert last week while performing above the crowd in a butterfly-shaped mobile. Katy Perry had to hold a cable after a prop malfunction, but she regained her composure. She kept on singing. And, I feel like these concerts are, I feel like they need to either scale back or just get better tech support? I mean, what do y'all think?
Well, it's happening. It seems like it's happening more often now, and I guess maybe they're doing it more often. Didn't Beyonce have kind of one of those little scares?
She did have one of those. And then I know Shakira canceled her concert because she thought that the stage was a little bit iffy, Are they getting too dangerous, these concerts?
I think they're just trying really hard.
Too hard?
Yeah, too hard almost, to try to one-up it. Because, all the stunts have been just crazy, I feel like, lately. So then, you have these mechanical issues and all these things flying around.
Do you think it's because everyone's attention span is just so shot that maybe these artists are trying to accommodate to all these little...
Maybe.
I think that's a good point, yeah. They're trying to compete with, because you'll see people out with their phones just during a concert, which always blows my mind, not filming, but on their phones.
Yeah.
So they have to constantly compete with that, which again, it leads to all these crazy stunts.
But that makes me sad though, because these artists, they just want to sing, Sometimes I would just let me get you a stool, sit on the stool and just sing.
And just strum like the good old days.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a moment too, when you're in the crowd, you have that sense of, community, and it feels good. And it's kind of a dying art where people can't even sit still and listen to music now.
Yeah, it's a show now. It's more of the complete thing. It's not just the music anymore. It's the entire show.
Yeah, it's like a flying, a butterfly, and then a car, and this, and I was like...
We need some of that around here.
Yeah, just a good eight-step count. Imagine.
There was a bat that flew here one time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Years ago. Yeah, we've had some creatures. We've had some butterfly mobiles through here.
Read with the harness on.
How about if I just tumble?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
you can do flips, right?
You used to. No,
I was a bass. I was a cheerleader bass, but I was not a tumbler. No.
Speaking of cheerleaders, how about we take a live look now at the greatest stadium on planet Earth? That's DKR, Texas Memorial Stadium. 40 days now, just 40 days until the season opener for the Longhorns at Ohio State. Texas, though, they're ready for this year, but they're looking at upcoming seasons, too. Got a big commitment yesterday night. Running back Derek Cooper. He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and he picked the Longhorns. He's going to be a senior in high school this coming fall, but then he's going to head to Austin. According to ESPN, he's the best running back in the entire class of 2026.
I think we've got a good product, and the product is what we've been putting on the field and in the classroom, and the success we've had as a team, success our players have had in the classroom, and then the success that our players have had getting drafted in the NFL. And I think all those things adding up are, we're an attractive school for players to want to come take a look at.
They're picking Texas. Cooper picked Texas over Florida State, Ohio State, Georgia, Miami. Pretty much everybody in the country wanted him to come play for them. But he picked Texas, and he's going to play for the Longhorns, not this coming season, but he'll be here for the 2026 season.
They're already fattening up that roster for the future. That's amazing.
That's a good
momentum has
thing.
been incredible.
Right?
It's going to be a really great season.
And let's be honest, NIL, name, image, and likeness, where you can actually pay players for their name, image, and it's making a difference. Schools like Texas have a lot of rich boosters and donors, and they're able to pay. And let's not be crazy. These players aren't just going because they like burnt orange and white.
They like the dollar bills.
And that's the game.
Dollar makes me holla.
That's the name of the game now. It's kind of changing. Now they're talking about maybe putting a salary cap on that. There are going to be some regulations. Texas is doing it better than anyone else right now.
Which player was the one that was riding around on a Lamborghini?
They got a lot of Bijan was the first.
Bijan, yeah.
He was
and then he had the mustard and just different things. And you know what?
Yeah.
I say do it.
Well, because they make it to the NFL and they're going to be making that much. But there is a way. I feel like Sark is trying to keep them, have a little bit of humility, though.
Sure.
It's like you can play, you got this talent, but you can see that with the players. They've got, a lot of them have good heads on their shoulders.
Yeah. And hey, if they got a few dollars in the wallet, I wouldn't. If you're 18 years old and somebody gave you $500,000, would you say no thanks?
Right.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right, the special legislative session begins today at the Texas State Capitol. Governor Abbott asking lawmakers to consider 18 items on the agenda. It's a 30-day session. We'll see how many of those things they get done. Lawmakers will address flooding response and preparedness. Other priorities for the regular session that were unfinished include property taxes, regulation of hemp and THC products, abortion and women's health. Just some of the items on the agenda for the special session.
And a major detour in North Austin. The far west Boulevard exit for southbound Mopac is closed and likely will be for the rest of the year. It's part of a 183 North Mobility project. The Central Texas Mobility Authority tells us this work is part of the last phase of construction closures in this area. The project is meant to improve mobility on 9 miles of 183 between Highway 45 and Mopac.
Someday they'll be done, though, right, Yvonne? Someday.
Our children will enjoy it.
Yeah, maybe if they're lucky.
Our grandchildren.
Sure, there you go. Now you're talking.
That's probably more realistic.
Later today, the UT System Board of Regents will hold a special meeting. They're going to discuss searches for a new UT president and a new chancellor for the system. They could name the chancellor finalists as soon as today. That meeting begins at 1:30 this afternoon.
Ooh.
Casey, go ahead.
No, interesting to see who'll be on the short list.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 7-day forecast. We have got a very quiet weather pattern for this week. High pressure is what it's all about. Good to see, too. We keep it rain-free at least through Friday. A little bit of slow warming trend to 99 on Thursday. Right now, I don't have us reaching 100 degrees, so we might get through all of July also without triple digits. It's not until the weekend that we might see a chance for just a stray shower both Saturday and Sunday.
There's like no actual pattern, it seems. No matter where. I have family in D.C. and they're like, we've had the weirdest weather recently.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you just never know.
Odd summer, I think, all across the country.
For sure. I bet August is going to be brutal. I've got a feeling August is going to be
wonderful, Brian.
130 every day.
Let's not put that energy
130.
Just got a feeling.
Unleash the heat on everyone. Oh,
We got to catch up, right?
I mean, yeah, it's getting kind of weird. I'm waiting for it to show up. I'm like, where is it?
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Thank you for watching Daybreak Plus.